Hello everyone, welcome back to Shadowtoys Photography. Today we'll be answering and putting to rest the question, is Valaverse just an unoriginal rip-off bite of G.I. Joe, or are they inspired and inspirational upgrades? And the answer is, it's some of column A, it's some of column B. Let's get into it. Let's start with our girl Pandora here. And I don't want to be redundant or beat a dead horse. As you've seen in my other Series 3 video, I compared her to Zorana. And their answer is, yes, she is Zorana inspired. You can't deny it. Everyone knows it. So that's character-wise. Figure-wise, comparing the figures, they both had issues. Pandora's ankle would break off, and Zorana's arm popped off. Now, Valaverse would fix or replace your Pandora if it happened to break, and the Zorana arm issue was an easy fix. So they cancel each other out in that regard. Now, just looking at the figures themselves, let's cancel out prices and accessories, because if you eliminate some of her extra hands and just go with her weapons and stuff compared to Zorana and back and forth, you can kind of balance them out. Let's just, for argument's sake, let's just balance that out. Let's just say they're equal pricing and things like that. Let's go about the figures here. We're just going to compare characters and then their figures, of course. Now, I think I prefer this over Zorana. Now, the Zorana figure is cool. Again, you can watch the Series 3 review I did, and you'll see the comparisons. I don't want to get too redundant. I just really like this Pandora. She's the best female figure that's been made since like Black Widow and Spiral and She-Hulk. I think, and other like anime figures and stuff like that. But domestically, this character is definitely a breath of fresh air. I'm really digging her a lot. And her design, yes, she's half Zorana, but for me, I see half a Black Widow from Infinity War in there, and I think that's what's giving me the edge, this figure the edge in that regard. Now, we'll do a bunch of other things. We'll kind of mix this video up. I want to bring in some customs and kit bashes I've been doing, because I've seen other videos and people doing that, and I think that's really cool, and it's been inspiring me. I've been doing that for a while, not to bite off anybody or anything like that. I don't want to be accused of that. It's just, I notice people are starting to put it out there and they're like, oh yeah, I should share some of my kit bashes. I mean, these are just kind of version ones. So let's bring in one of the latest figures here. It's a older figure, but newly ordered with the desert pack. And yeah, I'm digging this a lot. Looks really, really nice. It is a little hard, I've said this before, to get the head going down the scope there, but I've heard Bobby say that new necks will be implemented in other series going forward in the future. So I'm looking forward to that, because yeah, it is just a little tedious, I guess you could say, to just get him looking directly down that scope compared to other figures and brands, and yes, even G.I. Joe, because they use some of them, the double neck peg there, and barbell joint, whatever you want to call it, dumbbell joint, whatever term you want to use, but you know what joint I'm talking about. The one at the bottom of the neck and the one at the top of the neck. These just have the one at the top. But they should be getting the double treatment, and I am really, really excited for it. Now, my Duke figure for G.I. Joe, I like, but it's just what they need to redo that Duke. And Mezco's doing a Duke, and that's pretty much going to do the Duke right there. Obviously, Condor is the British Duke, but let's switch and do a little of that bash here. So I did this, and here's the thing: the G.I. Joe heads, everything's just popping off them. It's fine. The G.I. Joe heads fit perfectly, as you're about to see, on these Valaverse bodies. However, everyone likes to say that. However, but the G.I. Joe, now what came off him? Something came off, I don't know what. His little antenna. And I don't see where it went. Antenna lost. Oh no, it's the clip. or magazine. Hope I didn't put the antenna on that because it's gone. Anyways, as I was saying, and I lost my train of thought there because things are just popping off this guy. There we go. The neck peg for the Joes, or I should say the Valaverse, are way too small to reverse it. Like this Valaverse hole or head thing here is way too shallow, or just not cut enough. Maybe you'll have to Dremel that out if you want to ruin your Valaverse head sculpt to fit on a G.I. Joe body. But I think going this way, let's get him put back together a little bit. Man, I hope his antenna wasn't on because I don't see it anywhere. Goodbye. Anyways, but yeah, this definitely a nicer upgraded Duke. And I know this has kind of been obvious to some people, but it's just been coming really obvious. Like, oh, this is his version of this character. This is his version of that character. And again, it's going back to the question, is it a bite? You can't argue it's not. You can't. But they're much needed upgrades. They really are. Like, if, let's just say all those Joes really served in the 80s and stuff, like in the 90s, they would have aged out, I believe, by now, or they'd be in the upper ranks. They'd all be generals and just way upper ranked right now. They would probably never be in the field anymore. They would just be probably more politicians or something like that at this point, retired. Yeah, definitely out of the fighting game. So maybe you can imagine as they're passing the buck to their, British allies. I know the story is different, but, we all kind of make our own stories. I don't want to spend too much time on this figure, but just really, we got the Duke there. Let's put him, let's see, we'll put him there. There we go. We kind of make up your own story, and yeah, they kind of pass the buck, or we just need a modern, more of a modern, not Call of Duty, Halo modern, like, early 2000s modern, Desert Storm Desert Storm Part 2 pretty much, kind of level of weaponry. I don't really dig the crazy futuristic stuff. Let's bring out just a Kitbash, kind of go back and forth here. Took the extra Eclipse head. I do have trouble getting on bodies there. And just a random AK-47 with the satchels and backpacks from the satchel and backpack pack. Tongue twister. But yeah, definitely, if you haven't picked up the backpacks, or if they have them for sale, I think they're sold out everywhere now. But if you're ever at a con, or if they ever bring them back, or do another set of backpack, yeah, definitely I recommend picking those up, because they are really, I mean, you can see they bring together a figure so much. I mean, imagine she didn't have that. She looked a little plain there, but now I got, either an ally or enemy, depending on your story needs. Sorry, I put my hand in the way. Here's another one, a Steel Brigade. I really like the female Steel Brigades a whole lot. I'm bumping into Duke there. Sorry, Duke, you're gonna have to get put in the corner. No, put Duke in the corner. Get off me. Anyways, yeah, I really like the females. And the female Steel Brigades, like, oh man, so nasty. So nasty. Alright, let's keep with the... Alright, let's get into... Alright, let's do a little comparison. But Blowback is a 2-in-1. I just got Blowback a couple months ago. And I noticed, yeah, he's definitely the Flint of the Force. I know his story is he's autistic, and obviously you can't be in the military if you have those kind of issues, I believe. I mean, I'm not discriminating against him. I'm an asthmatic. I come from a military family, but I love the military, but unfortunately couldn't join because of my asthma. Disqualifies. I mean, it's unfortunate, but understandable. I don't want to put other people at risk or hold other people back, when, if they get like gassed or something like that. I'll be having an asthma attack and my own people have to carry me out of there. That's unfair, and that puts everyone in danger. So I understand it. I don't think it's discrimination. It's fine. So just saying you could kind of eliminate that part for him and just make him your Flint. I forgot to bring his hat out to see if the hat fits, but I don't think it will. Maybe that's a question I'll have to ask. But then blowback can also become, who does that remind you of? Who's the green on green with blue or brown eyes, depending on who you ask, remind you of? And here's his beachhead. So yeah, you got a 2-for-1 with blowback. But yeah, I like this as a beachhead a lot better. I mean, even his weapon with the silencer, the gun with the silencer, man, it's really nice. I can't deny it. It's both. That's kind of the contradiction answer of this video, spoiler. But here's something cool I tried accidentally. So if you collect, a bunch of stuff like the rest of us usually do, you pick up that Doc Undar from the Star Wars. Comes with a bunch of accessories like the helmet. Check this out. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Let me see the gun there. Oh yeah. Now, I did say I wasn't there for modern, but I have been seeing that they are like really doing Mandalorian type helmets, and are they really implementing them? Because that'd be sick. Bunch of Mando buckets coming over the hill, screaming at you. Yeah, I'd surrender. I'd throw in the towel. I wouldn't want to fight that. Yeah, that's really cool. I don't know. I got to figure something out with that. I know this is a clone trooper helmet, but yeah, I saw that. I was like, what the? Look how wide that is. That would fit on a lot of heads, but it seems to fit on the blowback head the best. So kit bashing with Valaverse is, it's chef's kiss. It's the, Mythic Legions is. I wish Mythic Legions has this level of articulations, but how Mythic Legions are, I should say. This is that, the swap pop and swap parts. I will show more of that, and let's just get him out of there. I will show more of that in future videos of actual pop and swaps. Let's bring in another custom female here. Just the special ops. This is just a random helmet. Maybe a little small on her, I don't know. Just again with the backpacks. But yeah, I'll do other videos with pop and swaps, and you'll see for some customs, really nice Valaverse customs. And I heard Valaverse say, speaking of Mythic Legions, that he doesn't want to get into that space, the mythic space. And excuse me, I gotta argue with that. I gotta say you're wrong, sir. You're definitely wrong. There's room for Valaverse mythical knight, however you want to put it, figures. Yeah, because a lot of them, other than like third-party or newer companies, they struggle with this articulation, especially if you're dealing with Mythic Legions. You want to, they are kind of your neighbors and stuff like that. You don't really want to compete with them for that space. I get that. But America, capitalism, all that stuff, whatever. But I don't think they'd be mad. They have their own guys doing their own stuff. So I think it'd be okay, honestly. Forget what I just said. No, I think it'd be okay. Seriously, I would consider it. They're doing the Power Rangers, and they're doing Buddha. Maybe some. They're not going to do ninjas, but maybe some bug-like villains to go with Buddha. Maybe cicadas. Yeah, the cicadas. The kind of a Yakuza, and stuff, Bobby, give me a call. Come on, I got ideas here. I'd love to kick it on design. Oh man, come on, I went to FIT too. I've been there. I didn't graduate from there, but I've been there. Yeah, I definitely would see, like, yeah, the cicadas, because that's usually, I believe that it's a bug that, well, from Japan, and yeah, that'd be bugs, scarabs. Yeah, I'd be there for it. Let's go on to another figure here. Let's go on to another comparison female. Speaking of Eclipse, oh, the next one kind of fell over. Hang on. We got Eclipse here. It's definitely original, but for me, I don't know. You may not see it as much, but it's the Valaverse Lady J. I mean, a little bit in there. I mean, it's a tough lady who can do a whole lot. Different, she can go undercover. I'm sure she can drive vehicles. I believe, what was it, Navy background, or her father was the Navy background, was the Eclipse's backstory. I don't know, but again, like, I like this Lady J figure, and it has all the right articulation. This is an example. Hang on, get her to stand back there. Lady J is a perfect example of having all the right articulation points, everything that's needed, and not executing it properly. And you know what it is? It's 100% the materials. You could feel that she's slightly too gummy. And look, she's got the double, and how you get no range with that. That's a bad design. And I hate that figures are able to go backwards way more than they're able to go forwards. Obviously there's a backwards design there. Because if she got that amount this way, yeah, she definitely does. Well, oh, that's how embarrassing. Her wig came off. I'm so sorry, Lady J. That's another thing. Just give us two heads, Hasbro. Come on, that's so silly. If you're watching a video of your competitor, not that I'm a competitor. I play both sides of the fence. I play both fields in this regard. I don't discriminate. I follow no flag when it comes to figures. I'm a renegade, a mercenary. Whoever gives me the best stuff. But yeah, it's just, I don't want to spend too much time with this, but yeah, it's double jointed, pinless, perfect, butterfly, and it's like it doesn't work. The cut has to be deeper for the butterfly, and it's okay. I mean, whether it's a male or female chest, as long as you got the cut high enough, if it has to cut in to the chest area a little bit, but even if it's a centimeter, I know Bobby has said, he doesn't want to change things just for like an extra centimeter, but that centimeter, they add up across the board, and it makes a world of difference. And Lady J she can look down the scope a lot better, a lot easier. Let me see if I can do it real quick. Oh, my hand's a little small. Not the right thing, I know. Oh, wrong tune. Well, I guess this is G.I. Joe. There we go. She's got the right hinge there. That took 3 seconds. It wasn't, I'll fiddle with her other arm, but as far as getting her to look down the scope, quick, very quick. And that's the difference. Despite her gumminess, despite her problems, she can do it. She can do it, and that's the point. Now, Valaverse added that extra point in there. I think that's all they're missing. Yeah, pretty much. Just that extra neck in there. I think they're going to be unstoppable. And then they said they're going to put cloth goods. Even there's a little bit of cloth goods here and there. Kind of like what Hasbro does with the Star Wars when they do it well. It really goes a long way. Maybe like a poncho or something like that would be really cool. That seems cheap. And I appreciate Bobby's insider on stuff. And I know they like to keep cost close to the chest, But he's really got to do us a solid and tell us how much cloth goods really cost versus molded. We got to know, is it really that much more expensive? I mean, to me, when you could buy a $20 t-shirt, plain white t-shirt from Hobby Lobby, a store, you know, anywhere, $20 plain white t-shirt, Walmart, right? Cut that t-shirt up, sew it, I mean, that is labor, I guess, into 20 other little tiny t-shirts, and you charge almost the same amount. You know what I mean? It doesn't, you know, it doesn't, you really, your cost is, you know, basically nothing other than labor. But sewing isn't really, you know, I do it by hand, and if you're using machine, it does require a little skill, but it's not really bank breaking amount there. So anyways, let's move on real quick. We got about 2 more, I would say. We got Scarlet here, because I had enough with this Scarlet body. And you can see, look how big. Let me bring in so you can see. Yeah, it's shaking there. The difference. So you would have to Dremel that, and I don't know if I would ruin a Valaverse for a G.I. Joe, only because Valaverses are harder to get and more expensive. You know, I'd rather go the opposite way, you know, ruin the cheaper figure. But I had it with that. I threw the Roadblock helmet on her, gave her a shoulder pad I probably need to paint, and yeah, this is what it kind of, I'm showing you what gave me my epiphany of, I mean, it was kind of obvious, but also like, you know what, these are also really much needed upgrades. And also I gave her, if you're struggling with your Scarlet and hate her freaking crossbow, I gave her the one Daryl's from the McFarlane Walking Dead figures. The Daryl's are a little pricey. Maybe it'll cost you $20, because I mean, his show's still going on. I haven't priced one out in a long time, but there's a lot of different Daryl versions. I think this is one of the first versions, or first or second version that had the crossbow. This one is. But yeah, I highly recommend using the Walking Dead Daryl crossbow. As you can see, it scales pretty well. I mean, it's a little bit on the smaller side. I can't speak. I've been talking for a little bit. But yeah, I mean, she doesn't really need it with this, because, yeah, I think she looks awesome. And Vala, if you, you know, you do a redhead with a crossbow, I don't think one person's going to complain. Oh, sure, they're going to be like, oh, that's Scarlet. He'd be like, no, that's Harlot. I don't know. You can make it pretty obvious. I really don't care, because we need a Scarlet. We desperately need a way better Scarlet, because yeah, the one we have, it's not good. It's just not good. It's frustrating, you know, even if you want to paint it. I know she's not the right colors, but this is like the upgrade we need. Just a cool badass redhead, you know, shoulder pad, give her a crossbow, give her a rifle, give her a helmet, give her actual military, so she matches Duke, you know, in the field there. She would be a Steel Brigade too. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I could try one of the other helmets, but I did have to pop a little bit of piece of paper in there just to get it to stay. But yeah, I really love this Scarlet. Really happy with it. And lastly, the Desert Rat figure, where I got geared up. I gotta say, on a personal note, I'm a little disappointed in Tony Roberts himself, who blocked me on all my Instagram, well, my 2 Instagram accounts. Just a block all the way. I'm kind of confused why. If you go to my Instagram, Shadowtoys Photography, you may have to scroll down a bit, but you'll find the Valaverse photos I did of him in this figure when Series 3 came out. You know, so kind of in the beginning, middle of the year. Well, we kind of in the middle of the year, but you know what I'm saying. From where we are now. Yeah, this, I put up some pictures, and you tell me if you think they were too offensive to warrants such an action. I'm not upset about it. I was more than anything just shocked. I was like, what? Really? Oh, over that? I mean, I was afraid to do something too violent, but I figured Dominatrix was safe considering the humor they all use. You know, it's very toilet humor. I mean, like actual like farts and stuff kind of humor. So I figured, oh, Dominatrix should be safe. No, blocked. And someone brought it up to him, and I guess he doesn't even run his own social medias, he mentioned, and he kind of just shrugged. So I guess just shrug, that's that. But so I'm a little disappointed. See, it kind of takes the fun out of well, using that head sculpt. I did like putting the cowboy hat on there. A little Australian, a little Aussie guy. I mean, Desert Rat is basically Dusty, right? A real world Dusty. I don't have Dusty to bring out, but he basically looks just like Duke in Desert Fatigues. But yeah, I have this, I think this is a custom Jobbers helmet. I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure. It's usually where I get my extra stuff from. But I thought that looked pretty neat. But yeah, I may have to swap that out there. Put a little fun, little kibosh on that fun there. But other than that, to answer the beginning of the question of the whole video, point of this video here that's been going on long enough, is it a rip? Is it a bite? I wouldn't say a rip. A bite is fair to say. It's definitely a bite. But they are, as you can see, much needed and definitely appreciated upgrades to characters that definitely need upgrades. And again, I wouldn't mind a Scarlet, just a redhead with a crossbow, rifle, and helmet. I'll just say it again. That would be super sweet. Maybe give her the extra neck articulation and just make her the ultimate definitive. You know, Hasbro will probably repaint one around the corner, but we'll see what happens, you know. Really enjoying this line. Looking forward to the Vanguard and other series and things like that. The Vanguard price is fair, a little high up there. You know what they should do? They should tier it. Hear me out. Tier it where maybe make it $100, just base model, no accessories whatsoever, just the van itself. Maybe for $150, it has all the bells and whistles on it, and then throw in the figure for the $185. That way it kind of hits everybody's budget. Would be nice. And maybe some people would get one with all the bells and whistles and grab an extra. That would definitely pump up more sales, I feel like, in the long run. You know, someone would definitely get one, you know, a full one, and then for the $185, and then get, oh, maybe I'll get that extra $100 one for, you know, $285, and then they can kind of plan it or whatever, and then they end up with one and then two vans at the end of the day with both colors. You know, it's something to think about. Maybe in the future. It might be too late now by the time this video is posted, but we'll see. Hopefully, fingers crossed. You know, things have been looking good with the brand so far. A few hiccups here and there, but definitely here for what's next, Valaverse. So before we go, let's give it a yo, Joe. Wait, no, sorry, that's not appropriate there. I can't use that. All right, it's a time for action. You know, I'm not really feeling that either. I got it. It's va la 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 la. Delicious.